Hello, everyone. Delphi Group here with the Delphi Signal and Delphi Room with a UOA weekly recap. If I use the word incredible for this week, it really does not give it justice on what we did here at Delphi with our UOA channel. Okay, so let's just dive right into it. First, I'm going to follow up on an older UOA position we had on. Again, here you can see we took a trade on EFA, which is an ETF. Took 81 puts. These actually expire next in 2 weeks. Got in these 81 puts for $1.25. You could see here we highlighted following UOA. Okay, again, UOA stands for unusual option activity. Okay, so if we look into what these did, okay, we can see here yesterday, I'm recording this video on Saturday. We can see what happened yesterday. Okay, we posted the trade here, okay, at $1.25, and yesterday got up to $5.35. Okay, so this is not unusual. We see and do this all the time. So again, just highlighting this another winning move off of the UOA channel. Okay, so speaking of the UOA channel, let's dive into the Delphi room here. Again, this is our Discord channel where we do all our amazing work. Where our community is, where they keep crushing it. We had our biggest week of the year this week while markets were crashing. Okay, so we'll get more into that on the weekly trading recap that we'll have coming out shortly. But again, we are in the UOA channel here. You can see right there, we're in our UOA channel. So what I'm going to start with, and then we'll ramp up, is Amazon. Okay, now a lot of times the UOA comes in on a stock that we're not even looking to trade or is on our trading list. But sometimes the opportunity presents itself, and because of the UOA, we get a trade. Okay, so we can see here yesterday. Now this is yesterday. In the morning, we have been net short for the past 2 months, which means most of our trades and positions were puts because we were looking for a market correction. But in the morning, we noticed Amazon calls coming in. Okay, we can see here, and they were buying 0 DTEs. Okay, so these Amazons you could see here, they bought for yesterday expiration. They bought the 170s for $5. Okay, we had a feeling the market was going to bounce, and Amazon along with it. Okay, we could see here a little later, they came in and they bought these April 11 calls. Okay, and then again, they came in and added more to those Amazon 0 DTEs. Okay, they actually bought the 172 27s. So because of that, we entered a trade for yesterday. It was a day trade, and we posted it in our chat. Again, this is our chat. Okay, it's very active, and you can see here in the morning at 8:57 a.m. we entered the Amazon casino via 175 calls for $1. Okay, we didn't take the exact UOA. Okay, we weren't going to pay $5, but we felt that the markets were going to bounce and Amazon was going to follow, which they did. Okay, so again, we entered those at $1. We cashed out. Well, we didn't cash out, but we can see here. Okay, if I highlight on the trade that we entered was at 8:57. At 9:01 a.m. Okay, we were up already 60% on those Amazon calls. Okay, a little later on at 9:04 a.m., 7 minutes later, we were basically at 100% or a double. Okay, So you can see how the UOA translated into a trade, a winning trade. And it didn't end there. You can see here our final was at 310. Okay, so those calls that we took hit over 200%. Okay, where we cashed out. Okay, we can see that 310. So again, we're doing amazing things here, and we would not have taken that trade if we didn't have the UOA channel or we didn't see those calls come through on Amazon. Okay, so going back to the UOA channel, let's get into some crazy things that happened here. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I believe it was the first, so you can see how active this channel is, right? I mean, we were just all day long posting relevant UOA. Okay, so let me go back to the first. I'm gonna get into the indexes after we talk about Lululemon, which, again, was simply just incredible here. If I can find it, here we go. Okay, so on the first, Lululemon UOA came through. Okay, so we can see here that somebody came in, they bought Lululemon 250 puts for April expiration. Now, why did this catch our eye? Because the stop was at over 280. Okay, they came in and bought these 250 puts. Look, for $1.35. Okay, so we actually put a trade on this, but let's look at what these did. Okay, here we are. These are the Lululemons. You can see here, April expiration 250 puts. Again, no words here. What happened? Okay, complete rocket ship. Look at this. We posted those at $1.48. Okay, they hit a high 2 days later at $21.50. Okay, the very next morning, you could have exited for almost $14. Okay, so again, simply incredible what happened here. Okay, on Lululemon and what we're doing here at Delphi. Nobody is doing this here at Delphi. Okay, so going back to the UOA channel. Now, this might sound crazy, but that was not the craziest or biggest move of the week. Okay, so since we're here, first let me go back. I want to cancel out Lululemon, but since the beginning of the week, we have seen nothing but index puts being bought. Okay, we have been net short for the past 2 months, but again, this is not something unusual. Okay, we could just see here these, just for an example, on the first, we can see SPY puts being bought. Okay, large amounts. And if you notice where the SPY was at 560. Okay, if we scroll down more, we look for some other index puts, IWM. We could see where IWM was around 200 in the beginning of the week. Okay, that they were buying puts. Now, again, this is not unusual. They've been buying puts for a long time, for the past couple months, giving us confluence to us being that short. Okay, so again, SPY is at 560 at the beginning of the week. IWM was at 200. Where were the indexes at yesterday when we closed? Okay, look at this. Again, at the beginning of the week, SPY UOA puts were coming in at 560. SPY closed at 505. Okay, we had GQG puts coming in up at 450, closed at 422. IWM, where I just showed you, UOA started coming in at 200, closed at 181. Okay, so again, simply incredible what's going on in the Discord. Okay, but I'm not going to get into all these. What I am going to highlight, okay, let's jump back. We're going to go back to the third here, where I want to highlight on here, which again, these are going to be just crazy UOAs that came through and cashed out. Okay, so let me go back to the third. We can see here another thing we do here. Some people don't even realize that, you know, index options trade 15 minutes after the close. So a lot of times we're posting UOA after the close that you can actually get into. Okay, and again, showed you guys where the indexes were. Okay, look here again. Qs came through on Thursday after the close. They were at 450. Those closed at 422. SPY came through at roughly 538. Those closed at 505. Okay. IWM came in roughly at 190. Those closed at 181. This was the day before. You can see all the put activity. Okay. Again, nobody does what we do here. This was after the close. But these are not the ones I'm going to highlight. I'm going to highlight these here. Okay. We can see here that, again, on the 3rd, they were buying puts for the next day yesterday, okay, on the 4th. Okay, we can see the puts here that they bought. Okay, I'm not going to look at these, but I am going to look at the 530s, okay? So what happened here, okay? They came in and they bought these 530 and 531 puts, okay? The 530s, I'm not going to show the 531s because they were basically the same kind of move. But you can see here, they came in, they bought the 530s at 87 cents. Okay, SPY was at 540. I just showed you guys where the SPY closed at 505, right? Well, let's look at those. Simply incredible, okay? Look at this explosion higher, okay? Again, we posted those puts at 87 cents. They closed at over $25. That's 25x overnight. Okay, we can see the volume spike there. Okay, this was the UOA that we identified that came through. Look what the average volume does here. Okay, and look at what happened on the 3rd. Overnight, 25x because of our UOA channel. Okay, simply incredible. And again, we said this many times, nobody does what we do here at Delphi, okay? So that's a wrap for this week's UOA Weekly Recap. We will be putting out our usually weekly trading report coming out soon, so look for that. Again, it was an amazing week, our best week of the year. Community's crushing it while markets are crashing, okay? So that's it from us. Again, we will be putting out the weekly trading recap soon, so look for that. And as always, thank you for being here. Subscribe, like, follow, help us grow. Thank you very much. Take care.